Hello and welcome to another episode of Sharing is Caring. My name is Klaus Meisel from Agile Get Together, and today's guest is Roland Auer. Roland is a senior UX UI developer, and he will tell us something about the four-player model by David Kantor today. But before we start, welcome, Roland. Maybe you can introduce yourself in a few sentences and before we start with the model.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me. I'm a designer, UI or UX experience designer for about 12 years now. Have worked in various companies, mostly for SAP in the last years, and within SAP, supported several line of businesses, so several teams, mostly Scrum teams, Agile teams, in the UI development, also in general, to get a product which is more user centric. So that's something that we, of course, as UXDs, pay a lot of attention to. And within those teams, there's always some kind of team dynamics going on. And this model from David Kantor has helped me in the past to understand better what's going on and also to adapt my behavior to fit better into the teams. And that's something which may be valuable for you as well.
Yeah, very interesting. Now I'm, of course, very curious. So let's start. Tell us something about this model you brought today.
Yes. So it's a model from David Kantor, as you already mentioned. There are, of course, many models available on the internet, which you can make yourself familiar with. But this is something which has worked for me in the past, and it's a four-player model. So on this picture here, you see different positions in that model, and it's very important to understand also that these positions are of equal value. So you can have people standing in different of these positions, and also often that changes fluidly, even within one conversation or over time when development starts, for example. But you also can often observe that some people typically tend to go to specific positions. And each position also has an intention, so they want to achieve something. So on this image, you can see here the four different positions. The first one is the mover, normally trying to bring a direction into the team. That's typically the product owner, at least for us, or sometimes the project manager. You have the follower and the opposer and the bystander. And like I said, everyone has their own intention. And when you are joining the teams, often as a UID or UXD, you are in the follow-up position because you're supporting the idea of the product owner trying to bring it into the product. Now, what sometimes happens is that this dynamic in the team is not fully healthy. So in a healthy team, each of these positions has at least one person on there. So you can actually also get the value from all these positions. But if there's just one person permanently stuck on the position, they sometimes confuse themselves with the position. One example which could happen is that an architect who wants to conserve the code also wants to make sure that not too much development effort or maintenance is being invested. They say, I'm not sure if this idea is a good idea. Can we not rather build something simpler? And as you know, as UXD, then you often make a compromise, and that's also okay. But if you see that people are permanently doing that, it sometimes helps if you also join them on their position, because that allows them to move to a different position and look at it from a different perspective in a different role. So for example, if you have a developer or architect who says always, this is too hard, we cannot make it. Sometimes you can approach them saying, I have an idea. I do think it fits a use case. However, I'm not sure if we can do it. I have some concerns. And that allows them to move to a different position, for example, the follower or the bystander, and say, maybe it is not easy, but I have an idea. Or did you look at it from this angle already? And for me, that has worked quite well in the past, to observe yourself within a team, which positions are taken, and also which position do you want? Because like I said, typically we are a follower, but sometimes it can also be important for the team that you challenge the idea, that you go to the opposed role, or that you are a bystander and actually watch which discussions are going on to throw in a new perspective which haven't been considered before. So think about it. That's my advice. Think about it where you are, where you want to be, also maybe where you are typically from your character, because it also kind of often defines where we start in the position and where it fits to the team the best.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for this interesting model and for the examples. Yeah, how you can use it in your daily work, Roland. Very, very interesting. Yeah, everyone who is watching now, of course, leave us your feedback. Tell us how you work, or if you work already with the model, how you use it, what is your opinion. Just give us feedback or ask questions, and so we can have a discussion. And yeah, Roland, thank you once again for your time and for being here today in Sharing is Caring.
Yeah, thanks again for having me be here. I definitely enjoyed it, and yeah, and if I see the comments, I'm very curious what you write and can also engage there.